Welcome back, and once again, I trust you had a good discussion. Let's dive right into what a Christian club on a local high school campus looks like. First thing you want to consider is, what is the purpose for you being there? Could I gently suggest that the primary purpose for having this type of club at a local high school is to be salt and light, is to be light in the darkness, is to be communicators of the gospel. And so really that should be your primary focus, effective outreach, if you will, as you're getting this club together. Second thing to really think through is student leadership. Clubs in high schools have to be led by students anyway, or teachers perhaps within the school. Most public schools aren't that excited about the local youth pastor coming in and running something. And besides that, it really is the students who should be running this, and our role should be training them to be those leaders that God's called them to be. Try to identify some grade 11, 12 students. Identify them early on, and by early I mean like this time of year. Start prayerfully looking at who's going to be in grade 11 and 12 next year, who's really excited about working at their high school campus, and start the process of coaching them along. At the same time, keep your eye out for grade 9 and 10 students who will make great leaders as they hit grade 11 and 12. But I would suggest you focus on grade 11 and 12 students to be your key leaders, because that is the stage of the journey that they're on. Consider the day of the week. And all I'm going to say here is most long weekends include a Monday or a Friday. So best to stay off of those days if possible, and plan for a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday. Make sure you have a teacher who's willing to allow you to use the classroom. And again, willing to allow the students to use the classroom. I've been in some environments where teachers open the door and walk away and say, have a good time. I've been in other environments where they sit at their desk and awkwardly stare at you while you're trying to have your Christian club. Somewhere in between is probably where you'll land, but try to make a good connection with a teacher, because inevitably, no matter how hard you try, there's going to be inconveniences, disturbances to his environment, whether it's a spilled pop or a desk that gets written on or whatever. And so try to sort of work on those relationships. Yes, it would be great if it's a Christian teacher, but it doesn't have to be. Some of my best witnessing opportunities as an adult is to unsaved teachers who are kind enough to open their classroom for their students. Remember to do some good networking so that you can identify who the other kids in other students in the other youth ministries are that go to this high school as well. And again, through your networking, which we should all be a part of, you can talk to other youth leaders and say, what are some students in your group that would make good leaders? How can we work together with these guys, and maybe you work together with a couple of mine and work together that way? Be open in communication on that. And remember, it's not just your youth ministry having a Christian club. It's the church at that high school, the Christian students at that high school coming together to have that club. And then think about the school year and how it's going to flow, your schedule. Again, the students want to take the lead, but they're going to need some guidance and they're going to need some help. As you go to discussion, and there'll be some questions up there for you to discuss, consider this. The investment that you're making in your students as they are learning to be the leaders that God's called them to be in their high schools is crucial. It's huge. Oftentimes, I have found myself over the years guilty of this. Spending more time training up a team of students to go on a short-term mission trip somewhere around the world and getting them all ready for a one-week experience, but failing them in preparing them to live out their Christian lives in their high school campuses. And so think about that. Think about the amount of time and resources you're putting into one or the other. Both very important, but think that through as you go to discussion.